I'm Cody Osell. I'm with Brickmania. I'm one of the designers, one of the kit designers. And what we have going on here for a World War Brick event and a lot of events that we go to other Lego A-Full events.
Yeah.
It's called a group build, and we built some bunkers and some trees, and we made, I think, about 50 minifigures for each side. So this is the Battle of Peleliu. We have Japanese versus the Marines, and we came up with a few of our tanks and Amtrak, some howitzers, landing craft, and we tell kids that they have 2 hours to get a minifig, set them up on a stand or put them in a vehicle, give them a weapon, and try to recreate the battle scene of Peleliu.
Okay, so that's a really neat idea. So basically what you do is you've got this mat laid out here as well, so it kind of has the ground and then the water there, so you get the landing site.
Yeah. Okay. So this is actually a brand new mat that we had printed just specifically for this event. This is its first debut. Before we had the water like a third of the map this way, and then 2/3 of it was beach, and it just kind of got everything crowded. Most of it was water, and when you only have one boat in the water, it's kind of just a waste of space. So I like this a lot better when you have a longer view of the beach, smaller portion of water, and you get more action in here. Really spreads things out because it was really crowded to have all these bunkers just in one section on a narrow side, and now you can stretch it out. I think it looks a lot better.
Yeah, I think this is really cool, and it gives it a nice play area for the kids. So basically, is there certain times then throughout the day at the convention here that they can come and set all this stuff up?
Yeah, so we have 3 different group builds, and we have 2-hour sessions each. So 6 hours about time.
So we had the Battle of Peleliu over there, and what are the rest of these?
So this is the Battle of El Alamein in North Africa. It's the British versus the Germans. So it's the same story. There's obviously different vehicles for each side. So they have a stand. These are all brick arms hex stands, brick arms weapons, some artillery rounds, and yeah, same setup. Get a British guy. This is actually a cool guy. Throw him in there just for fun. And some kids, I've been allowing kids to bring in whatever they want.
Customize the experience a little more.
Because they've got 2 hours. Usually when we go to other events, we only give them like a half hour, and it's just kind of crazy. You get kids in here. We try to limit to 8 people, so we do have a sign up this time. But when we're on the road going to other A-Fall shows, there's like 20 kids in here, and you're trying to police everyone. And the only rule is just don't destroy things, and don't destroy the vehicles, don't destroy the buildings, and everything stays here when you're done.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple, but we have had people make up their own games, kind of like a Brick Wars game. They set up a scene, and then they're like, so what else do we do now? I was like, I don't know, whatever you want. You got 2 hours. So some people just leave. But they came up with a game where they set up a scene, and then from there they would flip a coin, and they would move a vehicle in place and say, okay, I want to shoot that building, and then you flip a coin and say if it's going to hit or if it's going to miss. And so they spent 2 hours just kind of making up their own little game.
Almost like a dice type of board game kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. So it's entertaining to see what people come up with. Sometimes they come up with really cool stuff, and sometimes it's just kind of a mess.
Sure. You mentioned the destruction earlier. If we come around to this third table, it looks like there's a little bit of destruction that happened over here, maybe during the last building session.
Yeah, there's a little bit of destruction, but vehicles are mostly intact, which I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Because some of the vehicles, they get destroyed, and if I don't have the instructions here, it's really hard to remember how they go back together. I kind of have a pretty good idea of it now. I've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
But.
And which battle does this depict, this area?
This is the Battle of Kursk, spring in Russia. So it was a massive tank battle, and Germans invaded with a lot of tanks, and Russians fought back. So that's kind of what you're looking at here. I don't know if you can tell. There's kind of a lot of mangled mess going on. But so we try to keep things pretty strong, pretty playable. I know all the roofs come off of all the buildings, and they're super solid. My counterpart, Yitzi Kasowitz, created this building here. So yeah, there's stuff you can see inside. He made a bunch of rooms, kind of a cool fireplace with a rifle on the mantle.
Yeah, I like that. The rifle on the mantle there.
Yeah, nice creative little touches. I came up with a design for the trees. They're not super complicated, but they're really strong. And what we do with the trees is we take flex tubing and we cut them and stick them inside the open studs. So that way I can stick these in a bag and the tree won't break. The base might fall off, but there's a flex tube also running through the trunk all the way up. So that's really strong. It's never going to fall. I've never had one break, and these have been together for a year on the road. Other people setting them up.
Sure, that's a great idea. I like that.
Yeah, it's not my idea. It's something Dan came up with. Dan or Yitzi, I don't know who came up with that, but it's a great idea, and I chose to implement it because I know that kids like to destroy things. So strength is the key.
And once again, I love the mat here as well. You got kind of the grass, but then also the river sort of running through it, so you can have the bridges and stuff like that.
Yeah, I came up with those simple little bridges also. I built this building here. Otherwise, the other few buildings here were repurposed from, I think it was a Battle of the Bulge display we had. So, and they were strong enough. They took maybe a little bit more reinforcing so kids could play with them. And so far, so good.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I imagine this is very popular with the kids, being able to play out a whole sort of battle and lay out the whole display. I'm sure it's very popular.
Oh, yeah, they have lots of fun. It's tons of fun. Parents love it. They're like, hey, I can leave my kid here under supervision for a couple hours, and they have a blast. So
there you go. Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking us through the 3 tables here.
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Thanks.